Hello again, everybody. Welcome to USA Wrestling Weekly. I'm Scott Casper. It's time for this week's news from the national governing body of our sport, USA Wrestling. We start in the Big Apple. It was the announcement. The Rumble on the Rails event in New York City will take place Wednesday, May 15th. USA Wrestling and Beat the Streets of New York jointly announced that three wrestling world superpowers, the United States, Russia, and Iran, would battle in a unique event in Vanderbilt Hall at the world-famous Grand Central Terminal. The spectacular will be part of World Wrestling Month. That celebration held alongside the annual Beat the Streets Awards Gala that will follow competition at Bryant Park Grill. Well, the U.S. and Iran take to the mats at 3:30 using current men's freestyle rules. At 5 o'clock, Beat the Streets New York will hit the mat to feature some fun youth exhibition bouts. The second major international event will take place at 6 p.m. They'll use experimental rules designed to improve the sport. Now, the United States will compete against Team Russia in a bout with all three international styles on display. The Rumble on the Rails, a ticketed event, and it's much sought after, by the way, so the tickets must be bought ahead of time from the Beat the Streets Incorporated. There will be no tickets sold at the door. So fans, here's your warning. Fans wanting to see this competition, you got to buy them in advance. Buy your tickets early, otherwise it's going to be a limited number, so you want to get your tickets. This is the fourth year that the Beat the Streets event has featured international styles in competition as part of the big gala. It started in 2010. It was an all-star challenge meet that was held on the deck of the USS Intrepid, that aircraft carrier docked on the river. The following year, 2011, the USA beat Russia in a freestyle dual meet that'll go down in the record books as the first ever sports event held in historic Times Square. And we go to 2012, the year after. It was back to Times Square, and again, the U.S. beat Russia. That year, a special 60-kilo U.S. Freestyle Olympic wrestle-off took place. That was the main event. While the United States and Russia have a long history of cooperative wrestling events going back to the 60s and the era of the Cold War, wrestling bouts between the U.S. and Iran are less frequent, but an equal example of international goodwill through sport. This year's event is unique in that the U.S. and Iran do not have a formal relationship between governments. Iran has competed in the U.S. just 11 times since 1995. This will be the third time the two countries have competed in New York City. USA Wrestling's executive director, Rich Bender, talked about the exciting plans for the city.
We have an incredibly strong relationship with the Russians, as we do with the Iranians. And when the Russians heard about the match with Iran in Grand Central Station, they immediately came to me and said, "Hey, we want to be a part of this." So we were able to carve out an opportunity to wrestle them as well.
Well, lineups for the three teams have not been released. Of course, we'll have those for you in coming weeks, and we'll look to see each and every one of you in New York at Grand Central Station, May 15th. Next, we head to Panama City, Panama. The results and news from the 2013 Senior Pan American Championships. The United States faced rivals from North, Central, and South America in this annual continental battle. While U.S. teams took the opportunity to view the Panama Canal, that was when they were in country. When it came to competition, they were there, as famed announcer Michael Buffer would say, ready to rumble. Day one at the Pan Am featured Greco-Roman action. It turned out to be encouraging, to say the least, for Team USA. The Americans were led by a champion and 6 medalists as they beat their arch-rival Cuba in the final standings to hoist that championship trophy. 2012 University World Champ Max Nowry led the way for the USA as he claimed the gold medal. The 121-pound Nowry had preliminary wins over opponents from both Guatemala and Venezuela and went on to 2-period win in the finals over Christian Novas of the Dominican Republic. The big man, Robbie Smith, started his day with wins over Venezuela and Brazil and ended his run with a silver medal. In the championship finale, Smith fell to Ramon Garcia of the Dominican Republic. Now, during the evening competition, the U.S. won 4 of its 5 bronze medal contests. The young 132-pound star, Jamel Johnson, had a strong 3-1 record, beating Mexico's Victor Mendez in 3 periods for the bronze. The 163-pound past world team member, Jake Fisher, would take a bronze when he beat Mazzi Milano Prudenzano of Argentina in the medal rounds. 2011 national champion Jordan Hall won a bronze. How did he do it? Well, he went 3-1 at 185 and scored a dominant 6-0-6-0 tech fall over Hansel Salvador of Mexico. Now, joining home, Johnson and Fisher in the bronze category was 211-pound sensation Kaylor Williams. He grabbed the luster with a win over Davy Albino of Brazil. At 145, Ben Sanchez placed 5th in the loaded weight class. By the way, we talked with national coach Steve Frazier about his team's effort.
I felt our team really pulled together, especially the last day in the final round. where we had to win, 5 of our 7 finals matches, and we did that and pulled out the victory. So it was fun.
USA Wrestling continues after the short timeout. Stay tuned.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
The 2013 World Team Trials for both juniors and seniors will be held June 20th through the 23rd in Stillwater, Oklahoma. This is your chance to see national champs, world medalists, Olympians, all competing to see who will represent the U.S. at the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary, and the FILA Junior World Championships in Sofia, Bulgaria. Visit www.theworldteamtrials.com for all your ticketing and travel information. ASICS is the proud sponsor of USA Wrestling's national teams.
Now, American women wrestled on day 2 and competed well on the mats in Panama. It was a young team of freestylers who gained some valuable international experience. Well, the top performance came at 121. It was there. King College star Sarah Hildebrand finished on top of the podium with a gold medal. She defeated tough opponents from both Puerto Rico and Cuba in the prelims, and then she stopped the Dominican Republic's Jessica Ovida in the finals. Hildebrand has been on a tear over the last year or so, winning a 2012 WCWA College National Championship and the University Nationals gold medal as well. Also in competition, another young rising star from the city of Oklahoma. How about that? 158-pound star Brittany Roberts won a silver. She had an impressive semifinal win over University World Silver medalist Erica Wiebe of Canada. In the final, she fell short of the gold when she was beaten by Cuba's top star, Lizette Hevacaveria. Another collegiate star competed well for Team USA. Enter the picture Julia Salata of King College. Salata, a past U.S. University and Junior World Team member, performed well at 147. She pinned Elsa Sanchez of the Dominican Republic in the third period to win the bronze. Young talents Emily Webster at 105, 112-pound Haley Agello, 130-pound Shauna Isbell, and Jennifer Page at 138 all saw action for Team USA as well. In the end, Canada took first and the team title. Cuba took second, and the U.S. finished the battle in third. We talked with national women's coach Terry Steiner.
Going in there with this group, it was a young group of girls. A lot of them, maybe not their first international experience, but they haven't had a lot. So I thought we competed pretty well, and we got stronger as the tournament went on.
Well, of course, you're waiting for the men's freestyle competition. Well, that took place on the final day, day 3. Led by 3 talented individual champions was Team USA, and guess what? They won the team title. We'll start at 121 pounds. Former Buffalo and Penn State star Mark McKnight carded his best international performance with the gold medal. McKnight had 4 impressive wins, capped off with a 3-period finals victory over Juan Ramirez of the Dominican Republic. Good job there. Former Iowa Hawkeye, the 185-pound star Phil Keddy, had a great day, claiming his title. In the finals, Keddy stopped Canadian Tamaran Tegziev 1-1-2-1 and had a huge semifinal victory over Yuriscu Torreblanco of Cuba as well. Keddy was named the Mat.com Wrestler of the Week based on his results and overall performance. Now we go to Lehigh's past NCAA champ and heavyweight star Zach Ray. He won the 3rd gold medal for the U.S. His 3 victories included an opening round pin over El Salvador. In the championship bout, Ray beat Corey Jarvis of Canada 1-0-1-0. Nice work if you can get it. Former Pitt star Drew Headley won the silver at 145. Now training at the Lehigh Valley Athletic Club, Headley grabbed 3 victories in the prelims before dropping a close bout to his Cuban opponent in the finale. Former Missouri standout Nick Maribel took the bronze at 163. He shut down Humberto Brown of Panama in the third-place bout. Past NCAA and Iowa State strongman David Zabriskie had a strong and encouraging performance, ringing up 3 wins and a loss that included a dominant 6-0, 5-0 bronze medal win over Ardosh Kual of Suriname. Also in action, 132-pound Olympic bronze medalist Coleman Scott for Team USA. Well, USA Wrestling Executive Director Rich Bender was there to see the U.S. freestyle team victory.
It was a great performance by Team USA, and in particular our freestyle team, and really finished out the tournament very, very strongly. And it was, each one of the guys performed at a very high level. The future's really bright for our freestyle program for sure.
Hit record now. We'll be right back.
Wrestlers, are you ready for the next step? USA Wrestling challenges you to test your skills at the USA Wrestling Cliff Keen Athletic Folkstyle Nationals. Become a national champion. Head to the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa on April 5th and 6th to compete against the best wrestlers in the country. Last year's event featured 1,200 cadet and junior wrestlers from 32 states on 26 mats. For more information about this event and other tournaments, visit usawrestlingevents.com.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
From Panama City to Cedar Falls, Iowa. That's where we go next. The Folkstyle season wrapped up just last weekend. Bantam Division through Veterans all saw action under the dome at the very popular USA Wrestling Folkstyle Nationals. All in all, it's turned out to be an incredible showcase of American folkstyle wrestling. The junior and cadet division were completely sold out, but USA Wrestling had a better idea, creating a waiting list. This allowed athletes to enter and compete with the entry fees going directly to the effort to keep Olympic wrestling. Let's go first to the junior division finals. That's where the talent from our nation's high school emerged. Will they repeat? Yes, they did. For the second year in a row, 2 stars won Folkstyle National Junior titles. Adam Kuhn of Michigan, the nation's top heavyweight, claimed his second when he pinned Iowa's Dean Programmer in the finals. Of course, Kuhn beat 2 other ranked wrestlers, Michael Johnson and Newton Shermchek, in the prelims. Kuhn, a USA Wrestling Junior Triple Crown winner just last year, has now won the first leg of the Triple Crown for this year. Well, he's nationally ranked. He's from Missouri, and for the second straight year, Clayton Ream claimed the title at 145, this time over highly respected Iowa star Brendan Sorensen. The final score, a tight 3-2 contest. Ream had a big pin in the semis over cadet folkstyle champion Dayton Racer of Minnesota. Now, 2 past cadet champs were successful in their campaign to move up to the junior division. With the wins, both captured the first leg of the junior Triple Crown. We'll start at 138. California's Aaron Pico blitzed the field for the junior division title. A state champion in the Sunshine State, Pico went 6-0 overall, and in the championship bout, he scored a tech fall, turning in a 26-11 finals victory over Iowa's Logan Ryan. Wow. Minnesota's Lance Bennick also made the move to the junior division this year. He went on to win the title at 195. For Bennick, it was a weight class repeat performance from the cadet division just last year. He needed a late takedown to pick up a 2-1 win over Preston Wiggle of Kansas. We go on to 120, the 120-pound finale to be exact. It was a battle of nationally ranked stars. California's Zahid Valencia edged out Oregon's Ronnie Brester. Valencia fought hard as Brester nearly pulled out the victory with a late throw, but it landed out of bounds. Now we go to 182. Minnesota's Bobby Stevenson beat California's Sohrab Mohammadi 9-5, the final score. Stevenson was second last year in the cadet division. Now their trophy cases are jam-packed with awards from incredible performances over the years, and this event would yield fruit as well. 2 other nationally ranked stars won junior folk style titles. Dalton Brady of Arizona was the champ at 132. He beat Ali Nasser of California 3-2 in the finale there. Utah's Grant Lamont claimed the 145-pound title when he pinned Indiana's Tommy Forte with a banana split in the finale. Other junior champs include Michael Bannock of Wisconsin at 100 pounds. At 106, it was Chris Lacayo of California. Trey Blackwell of Kentucky checked in and won his title at 126. At 133 pounds, Brian Rossi of Illinois won. Devontae Mahomes of Illinois at 160. And at 170, Jacob Morrissey of Wisconsin. And finally, Benjamin Andrew of Arizona at 220 pounds. Well, not to be outdone, the cadets did their best to match the performances of the juniors. The 15 to 16-year-olds of the cadets also had 2 repeat champions of their own. Nick Reenan of Texas beat Illinois' Joey Gunther 3-2 in a very competitive battle at 152 pounds. Iowa's Cash Wilkie prevailed when he stopped Jackson Harris 3-2 in the 182-pound championship bout. Other past Folkstyle medalists moved up to the top of the podium this year. They include 3-time Minnesota State champ Mark Hall, who won the title at 160 pounds when he beat Jacob Cooper of Michigan. The final score 7-2. Claiming the heavyweight title was Jake Martin of Iowa. At 4 minutes 16 seconds, he pinned Dustin Brown in the finals for the win. Now we go to 220 pounds. The finals there for Iowa's Gannon Gremmel. He got a third period escape and stopped returning champ Kyler Childers of Oklahoma 1-0. Other cadet folkstyle champions include Cade Olivas of California at 88 pounds. At 94 pounds, it was Brent Jones of Minnesota. Colton Williams of Texas won at 100 pounds, and at 106 pounds, it was Dayton Fix of Oklahoma. Taylor Lamont of Utah joined in at 113 pounds, and at 120 pounds, Xander Wick of California won. Armand Molina of California won at 126 pounds. At 132 pounds, it was Hunter Washburn of Iowa. Larry Early of Illinois checked in at 138 and won his, and at 145 pounds, it was Carver James of Illinois. Keegan Moore of Minnesota at 170, and at 195 pounds, Emilio Fowler of Kansas won his. Well, it's time for our weekly Kapow update on the front to keep Olympic wrestling. The International Wrestling Federation, or FILA as you may know it, announced that the month of May would be the World Wrestling Month around the globe. Including the U.S., 177 wrestling countries will host special dual meets, sport demonstrations, and youth events. Kapow, which manages the U.S. Keep Olympic Wrestling effort, has added Wes Battle as its chief of staff. Battle, a former Virginia Cavalier, has worked in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill. He served 10 years in the U.S. Navy as well. Mike Rosati joins the effort as the USA Wrestling Kapow Executive Liaison at USA Wrestling's national headquarters in Colorado Springs. Rosati served in the U.S. Coast Guard for over a decade and most recently served as Logistics Section Chief in response to Hurricane Sandy. Rosati wrestled at Rider University and was the Director of Wrestling Operations for Princeton as well. Now, USA Wrestling's Indiana chapter, the Indiana State Wrestling Association, well, they made a donation of $3,307.30 to Kapow during the ceremonies at the USA Wrestling Folkstyle Nationals in Iowa. Funds were raised from participants at the ISWA Folkstyle State Championships. The ISWA issues a challenge to each and every one of you states out there and state chapters to all state associations to match or beat their donation level. I encourage you to take that challenge. Well, it was a big week for state resolutions, by the way, supporting the Olympic movement. It was unanimous. The California Senate passed a resolution supporting wrestling as an Olympic sport. The resolution was presented by State Senator Lou Correa and a coalition of bipartisan lawmakers. The press conference at the state capitol included 2004 Olympic silver medalist Stephen Abbas, cadet world team members Marina and Regina Doi, and a large group representing California USA Wrestling. Now we go to Minnesota. The state legislature there passed a resolution in the House opposing the IOC recommendation and supporting wrestling as a core sport for the Olympics. Minnesota is a very strong wrestling state, as you may know. The bill was presented by Representative Bob Detmer and also signed into being by the Speaker of the House, Paul Thiessen. Now, the Greek Athletics Federation announced it opposed the IOC Executive Board recommendation and urged the IOC to keep wrestling in the Summer Games. The ancient Olympics were held in Greece, and the first modern Olympic Games were held there as well, both with wrestling as a featured sport. Now, fans, you can stay informed and active by watching this newscast each and every week and by visiting keepolympicwrestling.com. The news on your sport continues. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Both of these guys are explosive, and it's not over. This is going to be a great match.
Well, Maryland high school star Kyle Snyder will train at the U.S. Olympic Training Center in the Freestyle Resident Athlete program next year. Snyder made his decision after a recent trip to the OTC with a group of other top high school stars. They enjoyed training and learning more about the resident program. Snyder is a junior and is a top high school star with national titles in both freestyle and Greco. He'll complete his senior year of high school academics in Colorado Springs, but will not enter the scholastic season, focusing instead on training in the international styles. Snyder has made a verbal commitment to attend Ohio State in 2014.
Not every day do you get to train with Olympic champions and be coached by Olympic and world champions, and that's the atmosphere, environment I'm going to be put in.
Well, Fargo national title winners who were training at the OTC recently include national champ Mark Hall of Minnesota. He talked to us about his visit to the OTC.
Every little kid to ever step on a wrestling mat, like the ultimate goal is to be an Olympic champion, and now like they kind of like took that away from them. I personally think they'll have it back sooner or later.
Texan Bo Nickel has enjoyed many achievements in the age group programs of USA Wrestling.
I've been out here all week. It's been good. Get to go with a lot of different guys and get different feels and stuff. Just basically came out here to pick it up for freestyle season. Just started it, just trying to get better.
Fargo champ Josh Lopez of Maryland gave his impression of the OTC.
I'm surrounded by everybody that kind of has like the same goal, and you know, I'm getting better. You know, they're teaching me things that normal coaches couldn't teach me. So I'm learning things like on a higher level, which I'm hoping to exceed my success rate.
Well, next week the U.S. Open and other major U.S. wrestling competitions return to Nevada at the Las Vegas Convention Center. The nation's best Olympic caliber athletes will battle for national titles and All-American honors in all three styles. The A6 Junior Nationals features the top 17 to 20-year-olds. They'll see action on the mats along with the U.S. Grappling World Team Trials, the Veteran National Championships, the Western Junior Regionals for boys and girls, and some local youth events as well. USA Wrestling will be partnering with Flow Wrestling to bring video coverage from the U.S. Open and the other events being held in Vegas. Check out Flow Wrestling for more details on these special webcasts and mark your calendar for the week of April 16th through the 20th, and we'll see you in Las Vegas. Well, wrestling has been AWOL from Graceland University in Iowa now for 3 decades. Now comes the good news. That Iowa-based university again will offer the sport on its campus just next year. Graceland, which competes at the NAIA level, dropped its team in 1982. It had a very proud tradition in the sport, winning 22 straight conference titles during its years prior to its elimination. Graceland joins other new programs expected for next year, including Wheeling Jesuit in West Virginia, Doane College in Nebraska, and Northeast Oklahoma Junior College. That's all good news. It was last week we reported the bad news. Boston University would end its proud tradition of Terrier wrestling at the Division I level in the end of next season. Last week, the fight to change that decision intensified. The National Wrestling Coaches Association has made a call to action for the entire wrestling community to conduct an immediate, respectful, and sustained letter writing and telephone campaign through May 30th. The targets? Well, the university president, the board of trustees, and athletic director. We need your help. We need you to sign petitions, write the letters, make the calls. It does matter. Your efforts do count. For more information, we invite you to visit the Save Boston University Wrestling Facebook page. Again, visit the Save Boston University Wrestling Facebook page. Do what you can. If you can donate, donate. We'd love to have you. Well, it's time for our USA Wrestling Photo of the Week contest. The pics are sent in by families and fans from around the country and are being considered for our contest in USA Wrestler Magazine and our Facebook page as well. Kim Ramos took the photo of the week. It shows her son Caleb from Romeoville, Illinois, in a recent competition with some great lift on a double leg takedown. Good job, Caleb. You can have your photographs considered for USA Wrestling's photo contest simply by emailing them to the very hardworking Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. Well, that'll do it for this week's show. From all of us at USA Wrestling, I'm Scott Casper, and thanks for watching.